Hey, welcome to the Bitcoin Core App Design Call number 82. We'll hop right in because we already started talking a little bit here. Thanks all for joining. Pablo just had a question around the proxy screen. And I do know that there's some stuff we have to do. It's kind of an intricate screen. So, but shoot, go ahead. What would you like to talk about?
Okay. Yeah, just started with the IP and port field,
Mhm.
because currently at the moment, if you check, there is like you can enter like only 5 characters or something like that. So I managed to make it work, but before uploading the PR, so I'm just going to focus on that field only, that control that we call. And when you in the fields, I see other places when you type something wrong, there is a message,
Mhm.
right, on the field, like let's say under IP and port label, there is a legend like, oh, this is invalid, it should be blah 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 in blue.
Mhm.
So I couldn't find in Figma anything about this validation error messages that we should
Okay.
have everywhere, right?
So that should be in the design system page
Hmm.
where um, here. I think Jakob, you worked on that at some point. Yeah, so this would be, yeah, I actually don't know if this is fully resolved. One of the trick here is that
Yeah,
when the message appears, stuff kind of moves around a little bit
yeah,
I
exactly.
think
That's the
at the
that's
bottom.
sorry. That's the legend that I see.
Mhm.
One. Well, in that case, I think it's valid. I think, well, at least the format, but the yeah, that's the legend. This is not a valid IP address. That's the legend that I managed to show when it's invalid. Yeah.
I think it's blue because we use orange as primary color, but it feels strange that it's blue. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean
mind.
so the you know the yeah, I mean so a lot of times red is used, but red we almost reserve red for very extreme things.
Yeah.
Like this is not something that will break or your funds will not get lost or so.
Yeah.
It's more like a tip, like fix this.
I mean, I
Yeah.
would maybe experiment with purple or pink, but I mean, it's a detail, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was seeing blue.
Yeah.
And yeah, you say purple like, when you. I don't think the focus also is not. Yeah, exactly. I see this purple when you change the focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for tabbing basically,
Yeah. Okay.
for accessibility needs
Yeah.
or just keyboard interaction in general.
Yeah. So I'm working on that. As soon as I finish the only this control or input or whatever we call, um, I will create a PR so we isolate everything and we can start testing, even if it's not yet fully functional with saving that setting or making the connection with proxy. I will create a PR with only this.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah, that's me.
Um,
So I've seen from the. I watched you assumeUTXO flow. It was, yeah, pretty clear for me. I think it looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have
I just
feedback?
want to-
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask. Since I've been on the multisig, the Create wallet hasn't moved much, except Michael started working on a mini script. miniscript, which I don't even fully know what is it, but I've seen some miniscript designs.
Yeah.
Just wanted to confirm if it's that that's all what happened.
Yeah, exactly. There was nothing else done. But so the miniscript stuff is more of what Michael. He's generally looking into this inheritance stuff with different spending paths and miniscript and descriptors and all this stuff, which will not be part of especially the first implementation of this wallet. It's just, what Johnny's looking for. I think Johnny, you're working on it. Is more like what's the most basic thing we can do, and then we can layer on more functionality up to parity with the current Qt wallet, and then we can look beyond into these other things. So I think it would be great to because it's been going on for quite some time, if we could wrap up this first version fairly quickly. And I think it's going to be pretty straightforward, right? Because it'll be just a very slimmed down feature. Enter a name, password, and that's kind of it in a way. So that would be good to package up pretty soon.
So I have a question on that. So I tested, even it's on draft, the wallet thing with some pages and the navigation, and compared with Figma. So when we start the application, no, unless you are onboarding, and you've been asked about these settings, we don't, in the Qt, in the classic, in the desktop application, in the current GUI, there is like a start window, like a splash. They call it splash screen. We don't have that here, right? We are not going to do it, or
No, I
because
mean, a splash screen that's pretty old school. I know
no,
Photoshop
okay,
and some
okay,
tools still use it,
just
but yeah,
yeah. No, because I started and I see the
yeah,
wallet there. So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I feel like it's. I know Photoshop is really the only thing that I still know that does it, and it's probably because it's like the slowest program ever to load. Like everything else is just
yeah, exactly.
there,
Yeah.
but they need time, so they're like, here's a pretty image. We'll show you some
Well,
information about our IP. There's usually some copyright text next to it too.
yeah. No, but thinking about that, like when you have the wallet loaded, right, in the current GUI, there is some time that is loading the addresses and checking the balances, and so I don't know.
So I mean, usually, what's more common today is that you kind of have this skeleton, as they call it, which is like you've probably noticed it's just like a few boxes with some of gradient that moves a little bit. That gives you a hint of what there will be, but it also so it doesn't look
Okay.
completely empty, but it also tells you that some things are still loading. So I think that would be good to figure out, to go through what this initial load process is at different times. Like the block log itself, it has pretty well thought out. There's like the connecting
Yeah.
thing and the pure start, and but for probably the activity screen is probably the one where we need to have pretty good loading, which also reminds me of the assumeUTXO stuff that's being discussed around how if we indicate that these transactions are not fully verified yet, but that's a separate topic. So you're looking for activity screen loading, like here. Is that right? So balance might still be updating, block log might be connecting, transactions
Yeah.
might. Okay. Let me just take a note of that. Okay. Cool. Jakob, real quick, do you have time to work on the wallet creation? Is that why you were asking?
Yeah, basically, would be nice to finish that.
Mhm.
As far as I remember, last time we decided it needs more technical review to polish it.
Even the basic flow of just, create single sig file with the name and the password.
Yeah, the basic flow is probably wrapped up. But I also wanted to move a bit the bitcoin.conf stuff. But yeah, I'll probably sit down today and try to finish the proposal I showed you and Mo. Also taking into account your feedback on the plan and how to research and incorporate more hours research into the designs. I need to.
Yeah.
I was meant to do it before the Madeira, but didn't manage.
Yeah. So with bitcoin.conf, I think it's similar. We could do just the simple text display, just leave it at that, and then have a version 2 or a version 3 where we go into this in a ton more. We make this much more interactive.
No, but you mean like a text editor, basically, right? So you'll be able to edit it.
I mean, I don't even know if the application can write to this file or if it's more for reading and looking at it. Hebasto just said he would love to see the Bitcoin conf. Right? So you can quickly check what's in there and maybe open it up with a link.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good. Progression, because I guess. And I guess this research will take me some time to really understand, the intricacies of this file. So this kind of, and maybe the end recommendation would be to just show it or just link to it, not to really incorporate it deeply. So I think it's fine for now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's even a thing where you kind of have this little builder. It could highlight things and should give you some tips on what they mean. And maybe you have a few bubbles at the bottom and say enable RPC, and it just puts the text in, or do this, and it just puts the text in, and then you copy paste it into a file or so. I don't know just random ideas, really.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential, but I need to understand it first. So, it's a big unknown, but an exciting one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's for me personally, I try to. You can do whatever you want and think all about in the future. For my focus is to kind of give the devs what they need in order to do things. So I'm personally gonna try. So if I keep saying like make it simple, that's just from that perspective, right? That we're working towards a first MVP or a version 1 or so, and then layer things on top. But that does not mean you can't. You can do all these explorations and research, and that would be really cool to have that path forward be laid out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think regarding the research, as I think Mo and you suggested, that the conf could be a part of it, but probably more useful and closer to what you said now would be just to take into account. I think what's missing from the report also Mo wrote is the kind of recommendations part, and just take into account what we already have and really compare it with the designs we already have, and maybe find missing pieces if there are. So that would be the most short-term help for the design. But I would like, the beacon curve, I would like to at least have a part of time for like maybe longer term research, because I think we identified really a need around this. So yeah, it will not be maybe for MVP, but at least have some kind of scope for how to move with it for the future, and some basic research done.
Do we have a GitHub issue to track this work?
There is an I started a GitHub issue.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, then run with it. Do it. Sounds very cool.
So one question: what are you missing, Jacob, of this bitcoin.conf? What's the problem with it?
I mean, the problem is basically everyone or almost everyone who runs a node needs to edit this file or to configure this file in a way, but there's no info about it, and there's no way to edit it or access it from the GUI. There's also
Okay,
no
yeah.
docs. There's also no docs, I think, and like explanations what really each of the
Fields, yeah.
in the file it
Yeah.
is. And so people use outside Jameson Lob's configurator, and they just do it kind of manually. So this is what I know, and I don't know the solutions yet. But
Yeah.
I think it
No,
just
from the thing is, it's a bit confusing. I think I don't know I need to check as well. But some settings are saved here in bitcoin.conf. This file is in the data.dir data directory that you can set when you open the node. You can put data.dir, and that is where this file is. But then you have in that data.dir you have this bitcoin.conf, and then you have this the settings JSON file which also save other settings. And then there is another file called bitcoin qt something that is saved in the config, at least in Ubuntu, in the config, the hidden directory. That's something else. But you shouldn't have to touch the file at all, because the settings are saved there from the app, unless you pass them as a parameter to the application.
you mean the Bitcoin conf? You shouldn't touch
Yeah.
it. But people, so why people configure it? Like a lot
For
of node
example,
runners configure it.
when you start the application, the Bitcoin node, Bitcoin D, or even Qt, you pass some like prune and other stuff. It's been saved there, right? There are some defaults as well, but at some point you have to, perhaps you need to change them. Yeah, you need to open the file and touch it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is, let's say there are 100 settings. There might be 50 that no one ever uses, or only hardcore developers use twice a year, and there might be things that people use all the time. And there might be several use cases, like optimize this for a super low end device, and there might be 5 settings. Maybe there's a way to do templates or something like that. Like, make it easy to use.
And do you know, guys, if it's so I really like this idea, without researching it deeply now, that let's say there's 100 settings and maybe like 5 are crucial and useful to change for a lot of users, then maybe we can only show these 5 in the UI. But do you know if it's is there's any technical issue to edit this file through core, through the UI? Or no?
No, because the settings, I think, are loaded when you start the application, so you can touch the file, and then next time that application will open, will load them
Okay.
again. And I think there is some, at some point, I need to check. There is some validation that if there is something wrong, I don't know if it's ignoring that setting, or and starts anyways, or doesn't start. And I need to check that. It should have like we should have better documentation on this. Yeah. I'm looking for the docs.
Christoph, your face is telling a lot, but I don't know what.
What do you mean? No, I mean, yeah. It's interesting how much attention the bitcoin.conf is getting. You could focus on, I don't know, transactions or other things, but bitcoin.conf is fascinating people.
I mean, no, I mean, I mean, this was users were telling us about this in interviews, so I want to touch it. It's not like, I know it's a difficult topic and complex, but it's a real need, I think, right? And like currently, transacting is not a problem for Bitcoin Core users, but bitcoin.conf, in a way, I don't know if you can say it's a problem, but it's not a smooth UX.
I think the RPC stuff is like, it really needs to be in the UI somehow, because that's a really important one, I think, for Bitcoin Core. And I wish it didn't live in the conf file, because I don't know how I would explain to people using the application how to then connect their, like, Sparrow wallet or whatever to it, to their own node.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's something we talked about, having some QR code so you can scan to connect to it, and then you would have a button where you just need to enable remote.
Yeah, maybe there's a way to. Maybe that just needs to be improved in Bitcoin Core. That those configuration options need to be more fleshed out, so we can do that sort of thing.
Jakob to the rescue.
Yeah, so the RPC is outside of bit.conf, right? File. It's a separate.
It's in bitcoin.conf.
Okay. Yeah, this will be probably fruitful post MVP. Just yeah, I'm totally up for doing transactions designs, UI wise, and then research for this post MVP stuff.
No, I mean, I think it's great if we split up the work and someone in a way kind of champions or owns different parts on a longer term. It allows each of us to get really deep. So if Michael, I think it's just helpful that way. Command line options, override value set in the configuration file and creation file options.
So the create wallet, I guess it's fine to leave it as it is now and just let maybe technical guys review it, and I can tackle next milestone maybe, or transaction list.
Okay, quick question. Does everyone who knows here where to go to look at this wallet creation flow off the top of their head?
Only me.
So, with assumeUTXO last week or 2 weeks ago, so I summarized all this stuff. I created a video for it. I shared it as an explainer. If there's a package like that we can create, it makes it much easier for everyone to give feedback, understand the thinking, and maybe a prototype or so. I also realized I should have created a prototype, because Mo created a prototype based on it, and it wasn't quite exactly what I had in mind. So I think creating these packages makes it much easier for everyone to understand, because we have many versions and we have many files. But if we just package it up, it'll be easier for everyone to agree on.
Sure. I will record the video and create a prototype as well. That's excellent.
Yeah, that would be super helpful. Yeah, and then later, I think wallet creation will get much more complicated with multi-sigs and descriptors and other things. Yeah, and then let me know whenever we can also add it to the design docs. Yeah, cool. Anything else on those topics?
So I will send you, Jacob, now some links that I found for the Bitcoin Conf. Also, there's a web page. I don't know if it's like from previous version that you can change settings on the left, and on the right is writing the Bitcoin Conf. So you can see all the stuff. Yeah.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, the ops configurator. This I know. I heard.
I used that configurator to set up a Raspberry Pi, and I just did not work for me. I did not find it a reliable resource, but it may have been user error.
It's your fault, Christoph.
It always is. Bitcoin's always right. Always something to learn. Okay, do you want to go over wallet creation real quick to refresh everyone's memory, or?
Sure, I also need to refresh mine, so so why not?
And then another thing afterwards we could talk about is Johnny's progress on the navigation, which also Harold talked about, how that PR should be split up slightly differently, and then how we move forward with that.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so create wallet, and we ended up with 3 options: regular, multi-key, or custom. Then the regular one has a short onboarding text. Then the user decides on the name. I think there was an idea to move this to the backup screen,
Yep.
the path. Then there's a password to encrypt the wallet.
It feels so complex, this page, just for entering a password. But
Yeah.
okay, we can look at it separately, and you can skip it, of course.
Yeah, you can skip it, and I think it's not. You can skip it here, but I don't see that. I don't know why. And I even in one of the designs I added here a skip button because I didn't see it. That's maybe
it's more of a mobile pattern.
Yeah. Okay, then there's a way to save a wallet file copy, I guess. And that's it. That's a simple one. And this, I think it's maybe not needed here.
Yeah, I think we can remove it, because then you click next, and then you're gonna see that anyways. It's not really.
Yeah, exactly.
Repeating it.
Not too overcomplicated. So this is the simple flow. Then the multi-sig onboarding name is the same. Then you choose. Yeah, and I guess this part, there are some improvements which I think I haven't implemented yet from the last time we went through it. But the user chooses number of keys enabled to sign transactions, and then the minimum number of keys required to sign transactions. And then this part is about, and this I think is the weakest point of the whole flow for now, is to decide if the wallet we create now will be also a signing wallet, right? Or it's only watch only, view only wallet, and you will just import keys that will create the multi-sig. So here's the user chose. There's this info that the key number 1 is this wallet. This wallet. Then adding second key, and I think we cannot upload wallet file, right? So it needs to be an import. Yeah, same for the third key. The password is the same, and it's created. And then the custom, just to finish it, be quick. The custom, onboarding name. Basically, only the screen is different. So for now, it's the user can disable output script descriptors, and they can choose script type and abbreviation path manually. And probably there may be some more options that could be useful here. Yeah, so that's it for now.
Yeah, and there were we had some discussions around doing this slightly differently. This building blocks, right, where it says add your keys, and then you click add a key, and then it asks you, do you want to have this key on your device here, or do you want to connect an external sign, or do you want to import a key or something, where you just kind of fill the screen with as many keys as you want.
Mm-hmm.
There was a conversation we've had a couple of weeks ago that would be, I think would be kind of
I think this is something.
What's more Sparrow wallet like? I think.
Yeah, this is Michael's miniscript design, and I wonder if he included that. So you mean on there'll be one page, and you just add key on one page.
Yeah, instead of saying I want these many, instead of deciding the policy first and then adding the keys, it's like you just add 3 keys and then you have 3 keys, right? You don't need to say how many keys you want to add first. So I don't know. I think we have to. There are several ways to make this decision, right? This focuses on the policy itself. There's like one single thing to focus on, and then keys are a separate thing. You go through one key by key. The other one collapses it, and it puts more of these decisions into a single screen. And then you have more interaction on that one, and you kind of build up the wallet. So, yeah, something we should intentionally decide. And I guess the one consideration there is the flexibility of this. If I don't know if there are multiple key paths in there at some point, if there's I don't know, how flexible should this thing be? I mean, there's always way more you can do in the command line than in the UI, but just what should go in here?
Yeah, so you mean like if each key will have some different settings, let's say. In that case,
yeah,
then if we do this add a key, like each key could have, I don't know, like an icon for more custom settings that would maybe move you to next screen where you edit those settings and go back. That's my initial idea.
Yeah, but this feels like another thing where we can, maybe with another work session or so, we can wrap up a first package of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have future editions. And
okay, I tried to do this way what you told. I like it. It's simpler, I think.
I actually don't know if it's good or not. It's
yeah.
Maybe sometimes you have to see both and try out both in a prototype to see. And it seems like the Sparrow wallet approach works pretty well.
Yeah. So when I do it, I'll record a video with both flows and prototypes, and then it'll be good.
What do the devs think about these different approaches?
So, yeah, I need to play a bit more with the multi-sig. I haven't done much really. So,
yeah, me neither. My only multi-sig is Blockstream Green, which does it automatically, I think.
yeah, that was. That's why I asked before if you have the access to the current Qt, because I'm not saying like as I said before with the splash screen that to move things all stuff in the new one, but just to play with the behavior, right, the functionality, and see. That's important.
We have screenshots of it somewhere, but not. I don't know if wallet create with multisig was there.
Yeah, there was also a Stacker News post recently about setting up a multi-sig on the Qt wallet, and I think there's also a page somewhere on GitHub. You can dig that up. So I think you can learn a
Yeah,
lot from tutorials.
the page is. I mean, I have a link
Yeah.
somewhere, and yeah, it was useful. The page, but they do it here in console, I think. Well, from the GitHub. So, could you find the Stacker News link and share?
Yeah, let me see if I can dig that up. It was a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of hard to find things on there. Yeah. Okay, cool. But let's. It seems like we have multiple things here that it would be good to wrap up a first version, prototype it, test it with a few people, and maybe call it a day for the first version, and then while also making sure that they're expandable for the future editions, without needing total rewrites. So we have some design mini projects here to wrap up. So what else is going on the development side, Johnny? How are things?
Yeah, we got a lot of PRs stacked up right now. We gotta work our way through those, and that should. The current two right now are going to be tough, but since the PRs are up, I think hopefully we'll be able to get through them relatively quickly.
Why are they tough?
They're just large. They're large, and there's a lot of moving pieces with each one.
Yeah.
But they will unlock a few significant paths. So G's data directory one obviously will allow us to implement assumeUTXO.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it'll complete one of the big missing pieces of onboarding, right? The data directory.
Mm-hmm.
So it functionally works. So you can actually test it. Code just needs to be cleaned up, and kind of the same with the navigation for the mobile and the desktop. Which, yeah, as you mentioned, that PR is going to be split into two because it is too big. Harold's the one that actually initially told me to combine them, and then he has changed his mind on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the right. They should be split up because it's when PRs get too big, it gets hard to manage them, and then it's also very difficult to review them. So yeah, hopefully we get through this, and then that'll be a good springboard for additional features.
Yeah, and with those more foundational ones, it's good. They're probably just going to be a whole bunch of placeholders in different places. Then those get filled with different PRs, right?
Yeah. Which is what I'm really excited about, because there's a lot of little placeholders, especially for the mobile, or sorry, the wallet stuff. So it'll be fun to have people be able to just pick at small little components and fill them in. Yeah.
Okay, Jakob, we're going to have our work cut out. There'll be tons of little questions for things we haven't perfectly thought through. Have to fill in different interactive states and all this stuff.
But yeah, with them being like smaller, bite-sized, generally that'll lead to faster development as well.
Yeah.
You get that dopamine hit finishing something, so kind of it helps build momentum. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's awesome. And is there anything that we should be reviewing at this moment?
I don't think so. I think we're all. I think at the moment it's just hung up on technical things like how to factor the code.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know there's too much design stuff, but like you said, there likely will be once these two pieces are in, because then the interesting stuff can start to be worked on.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's like little things with like highlight and fonts to review for the wallet stuff. There are some questions with like error handling for the directory picking. But I'm kind of like, I don't want to make the PR any more complex than it already is. So kind of leaning towards getting that sort of thing handled afterwards.
yeah. Yeah. The perfect is the enemy of good type of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Jakob, have you tested some of the builds?
I have one running.
Mhm.
I mean, I installed 1 month ago. The newest one.
How does the overall experience feel to you?
It was good.
Just good?
It's like a question when you come back from school and you get, and your mother says, "Why not A?" Right?
No, I'm curious because I definitely, once you feel things out, like you sense a bit about some stuff that you'd love to revisit. I was just curious if you had the same.
Yeah, I think as far as I remember, the only thing that felt strange was some kind of navigation movements.
Mhm.
But I think, I'm not sure if I need to try it again because it was a while ago and I didn't write down my thoughts. And the other is some placement of options, I guess, but that's also, I think, taken into account. Like we are aware of it. I'm not sure if we decided to move things.
Yeah.
Let me actually.
There's nothing fundamental, nothing foundational, right? Because a really big thing is that we get the bones of this right. We don't have to change those around.
And the thing which also when you and Mo did user tested me with, I think, the hover, like there's no indication what happens when you click that it stops the syncing, right?
The block log itself needs like another interactive layer, that's for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess there are details. But
Yeah.
in general, it was nice. I ran it on the second screen as a kind of nice clock. It would full screen because I have 2 monitors on 1 monitor. I ran it for some time. It was really nice.
Awesome. So overall, you're happy. Just some minor things. So that's good. If we're not excited about it or proud of it, then why would anyone else be? Yeah, cool. Is there anything else we should talk about?
I also sorry to interrupt. I also ran it on Android on my Samsung S9, and yeah, it worked well. There was some strange colors, I think. No, it was a testnet, I guess. But there was some misplacement of. I posted it in Discord. Misplacement of in a block clock. There was like, I don't know, something was
Icon
off.
was a little bit too big or too low or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah. Awesome, cool. I hope, I would love to get into code and tweak things at some point too, but I just cannot help with this foundational architectural stuff. I'll just destroy everything. Or I'll need a year to figure it out. But when like things are in place, I have to help tweak as well. But yeah, anything else to chat about? All good? Should we wrap it up? Cool. Then we'll wrap it up. I'll stop recording. Thanks for tuning in.